Mukam karoti vācālam Bandham Yadi vipadam Paramanandam Madhavam Luna Viharati Jai Shri Krishna and Jai Jai Rama. See, when we chant the name of Ram, the Ramayana says, Ram Nam Setu Hai. Setu is a bridge. And when we chant the name of the Lord, of course He melts all the challenges. If you have come here with a heavy heart, He's going to lighten up your heart like a feather, so you can fly to the divine bliss of the Lord. One thing about Satsang, when we come to a Satsang, everything changes. Our mentality, our stress goes away. We feel so relaxed and happy. Sometimes we're so tense during the day, so angry and so upset with our workers, our colleagues, our boss, our wife, our husband. But when you come to a Satsang, it just melts everything away and you feel so connected. That's the reason why the Chaupai says, Bin satsanga vivek na hoi, Ram kripayu sundar soi. Shri Ram is the only deity, God who spoke about the soul's journey, everyone. In chapter 2, Bhagavad Krishna says, if you live a happy life here, you will get a place with Him. My dear friends, once a man asked me, Panditji, do you think if I smoke cigarette, I will go to heaven? I said, yes. You will go, but faster than you're supposed to. See, our life on earth depends where we are going. You ask me, Panditji, am I going to Narak, hell? If I'm going to heaven, I will ask you, are you having a heavenly life on earth? Are you happy on earth? And if you tell me yes, directly you're going to get a free visa for heaven. But if you're living a life of negativities and opposite of happiness, my dear friends, you can never be in Swaralok. Let us make Swaralok here as Krishnaji. And tell you a secret, don't tell anyone. When you live a divine life, a life where you give yourself in service, where you find time for your family, where you find time for your mandir. And I admire the members of this mandir who took it upon themselves to carry on this beautiful shrine in the most effective way. Please give them a round of applause for the devotees and members of this beautiful mandir. Friends, there's a beauty of this mandir. There's an energy here that is so loving. It means that you're doing something right. Our Dadaji, who has left this world, he left with some sort of responsibility for you. And I'm so delighted that you're taking up this responsibility, this ring that he would have desired for you to carry on. Please join a mandir, everyone. Be part of a mandir. Be part of a community that will inspire you. So Krishnaji, when we die, my dear friends, He comes and He plays His last song. And what He sings? Please enjoy the selection, friends. You know, while I was living on the road, I thought of something. What I thought? I thought that when you die, sometimes you think that there's something good of it. You know why I say that? Because you will never get roses as much as you get on the funeral day. And secondly, you wouldn't believe that people thought good of you until you die. They will set up a big eulogy for you, and you never know what they're speaking about. I always say, tell them you love them and how great they are while they are alive. Not when they die. Give them the medals while they are alive. And the third thing, a good thing about that, strange enough, you have family members who never visit you. They come on down there. True or false, everybody? Say it louder. We never saw them while we were alive, but they will take an aircraft to come and see you on the day of death. Why? If you can't love me while I'm alive, don't cry for me when I die. Love me and cry while you are here. If I'm alive, give me that flower. Not when I die. I cannot smell it. The hands can even move to say it smells nice. Krishna ji, what he saying? Sarva dharman parijajya mamekam sharanam praja aham tvam sarva papebhya moksha ikshātimāṁ suja. Please sing for your friends.
Apologies for this intrusion. There is a vehicle BP84JJZN that is causing an obstruction outside. There is the SAPS outside, so if you could please go out with urgency. BP84JJZN. Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you so much. The sad thing about today, we don't know what car numbers. We know the color. If you ask me my number, yet to remember it. Nice to be here, my dear friends, and it's always a pleasure to be in Durban. It's always a joy to be and see so many wonderful people. And the world is seeing all of you. They all are sending greetings, and of course, all in our West. Today we had close to 35,000 views from last night's session, and we all sent the love, and most of them would like to come with me next time when I'm coming. My dear friends, when I believe we must not live in an ordinary way. We must leave with a first-class ticket if we have to die. Isn't it when you travel first class, you get better treatment? Isn't it that you would like to travel first class because you get priority? Right? For some reason, they're right. So the message this evening, as soon as you die, my dear friends, we want first class with Maharaj, with the Lord of Death. And of course, he travels to the south. And that's the reason why the feet of a body that dies faces south. Why? Because he resides in south. We are told by our grannies and ajis and ajas, do not face your feet south, because the south gravity pulls your energy. For those of you who are not sure what direction you're sleeping, take a compass tonight and look to see if your feet is facing south, because many of you may have bad dreams. Many of you, according to science, this pull, this north-south pull in the pendulum in physics, you see the pendulum is running north-south, never east-west. In physics, it will always run north-south. And when they say in the west, you're going south, it means something really bad. My dear friends, south is the direction of death, and that's the reason why, children, we always face that direction to offer our pitras that offering through our tongues like this, as I explained last night. So, we want that first class ticket. And how do we get that first class ticket? By being a kind person. Are you kind? By giving a poor child some food. Giving a beggar who needs something to eat. By supporting our mandirs, my friends. How do you get the first class ticket? When you're about to die, anybody can tell me? How do you get a first class ticket? Anyone? Huh? You have to come to Satsang, right? Okay. The best way to get a first class ticket, my dear friends, give charity. You know what good? Be a good human being. Baba says, be good, do good, say good, and good is going to follow you. Listen to the names of the Lord. If you want a first class ticket, please see God and goodness in everyone. Don't speak false. Be a good human being. Be a good human being. So therefore, Swami says, be good, do good, say good, and good is going to follow you. There are certain rituals, my dear brothers and sisters, in the Hindu tradition that is recommended to do while we are alive. And one of them is the Gauda, is giving of a cow. And I'm not saying it I'm going to tell you where it came from. And for those of you who are Pundits and want to know the information, it's from Prem Khan, chapter 4 of Garud Puran. It says, if we can give a cow, a Panditji, I cannot even afford a dog. How am I going to get a cow? It's okay. Friends, if you can afford one, it's good. But Friday morning, we're giving you the opportunity. For those of you who may not be able to afford one, we're doing a special tarpan where you can come together and call the name of your parents and touch that cow, and the cow, that cow will cross that Vaitarani river. And why we do this? The verse tells us very nicely, and anyone who wants the verse, I will be posting these verses in my Facebook so that you will have access. Not what we say, but you can quote it where it came from. And so Garud Puran says, very nice to feed a cow. For those of you who have cows here, please show hands. Oh, yes, Panditji has one. Only Panditji has one. I had one, but it was a toy one someone gave me. I went to do a Gaudan in Canada, and I was so excited someone is going to give me a calf. I saw a sponge, and the cow came there. I was waiting, but then he had to give it to me, so So it's nice to have a Gaudan. It helps. 3 things. It helps your family members who have passed away. Right? Your parents who have gone to the far beyond, this helps. Secondly, it helps you as an individual. And thirdly, it helps the generation to come, your progeny. Giving a cow, Gaudan, is the greatest gift. Gaudan, friends. If you cannot afford it, let us be part of the ceremony. I think it's in Reservoir Hills. 10 to 2 at the Seva Samaj in Reservoir Hills. So you could come there for 10. It's Friday morning, my dear friends. So the verse tells us beautifully here in Garud Puran that when we make these gifts, they do not go in vain. The scriptures say if we are not so honest, we go to Vaitarani river that doesn't have nice things. And that's the reason why this cow helps us to cross over. And for those of you who may not believe that, that's your belief. But I believe, give while you are alive. Give charity. Be a good human being. Sometimes I read these verses and they are great. But I'm thinking like you. The best gift to give, my dear friends, is your kindness to human beings. Really. Help another human being. For someone who does not have the opportunity to go to school, please give them. You know, things like when you die, your children have to get a cow. Where are they going to get a cow? It's fine. It's okay. It's recommended. But I believe while you're alive, give whatever you can give. Those things will. When someone dies, they want how many nights reading? So many nights reading. And when a person was alive, they never listened to the name of the Lord. And what's the sense? Therefore, friends, do what you can. Do while you're alive, while the Lord gives you the opportunity. Praise Guru Krishna Bhagavan ki Jai. I'm going to sing this. Pundit chapter 4. It is so, Lord Vishnu says to Garud, in the vehicle of Garuda means that eagle that he would drive on, he had his own vehicle. We have our own vehicle outside, but he had the vehicle of the Garud, the eagle. Vishnuji is asked, what are some things we must do while we are alive? And Lord Vishnu says in this beautiful verse, Prayaschit tyagata te tebhyo danano dasha tato yamadvarate puya shoniya sankule nari vaitarani dayena tamyami vaya chaka Shri Krishna Yasani Sakrishvini Gauri Vedana Smrita Gaurya Divyadana Smrita Guru Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai. He says to Garu, anyone who can afford a cow, and you take that cow, you have to touch the cow 54 places with your hands. Pundit will recite the mantra. And now, the cow, with yourself and the family, you give down, and then the cow crosses the representation of Vaitarini river. And he says that cow should be white in color, purity, and anyone can afford this. It really helps your journey. Got into this year. Krishna Syaya, Sri Krishna Dana, Gaudana, Mahadana, Punyadana, Samarka. If you give this, it can really help you and your ancestors who have gone to the far beyond. Prem Subhalo Vishnu Bhagavan Ki. So what you must offer, eh? And if you can't offer a cow, what you do? Huh? Give charity, yeah? Charity is the best way. So there was this boy, I'm just catering for the children now. He's asking his grandmother, Aji, why do we have to give this cow? She says, Beta, it's not later. It's now. She says, I'm giving this for your grandfather who died. And anyone who gives a cow, they will be able to cross the Vaitarini river. So they are holding the tails of the cow to cross. So the boy now is asking, if granddad died, what are cow doing here? There's some people who think like that. If grandfather died, how come the cow is here? Children will ask that question. So the doctor says, if you lose weight, you will live long. The fellow says, doctor, listen, those whales in the sea, they're so active. They swim whole day and yet they're so big. You know, we use all kind of strategy to come out from our situations, no? Friends, the Gaudan is very, very important. But tonight, my friends, in this beautiful bhajan, it tells us the real way to live is to love the Lord. Bhakti is the best way. Those of you who are preparing for Bhakti, my dear friends, is the best. Please listen to this beautiful. इतना तू करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले गोविंद नाम लेकर जब प्राण तन से निकले. Friends, those of you who are parents that have passed out, please close your eyes and feel the presence. When we call them, they come. And today, we remember the Brishnan family, Babuji, Pramilaji, Akashji. The family members have come together, some of our kind sponsors, to remember the great souls. Friends, may your parents' blessings be with you. And what is the meaning of Pitras? Your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, they become Pitras. And when they are pleased, they can bless you more than the devatas. Please let us pray wherever they are. Dad, Himaji, please listen to our prayer. We love you so much, Ma. And Dad, wherever you are, I know the soul doesn't die, energy does not die, but please bless us where we are today. Oh, Pitaji, Mataji, please bless us. Itna tu karna swami jab pran tan se nikle govind naam lekar jab pran nikle itna tu karna swami. Ganga ji ka As I mentioned to you about Gauda, why that was recommended? It was the first creature on earth as Gaumata. She took the form of Dhartima. It was the first creature that came onto earth. And that time, we didn't have food like pizza and macaroni pie, nice dishes that we have today. What they had was milk, they had curd, dahi, and of course, they had the gobar that would have been the fire source to cook the food. So the Gaumata was the first creature to bless this earth. And hence, she remained as Gaumata. And of course, she was revered by the Devas. And Naraji told her, anyone who will revere here, the ancestors will be pleased with the offerings. Now tonight, let me begin my discourse, what I'm supposed to speak about. I just said this, by the way, about Gauda. But when we die, brothers and sisters, what exactly happens? Many of us, we know about life. Many of us, we do not know when we die, what happens. My friends, it is said when we die, the Atma leaves, like last night I told you, can leave through the air, the eyes, the nose, the mouth. For unrighteous people, your soul, the Atma leaves through the navel or the lower openings of the body. And that can be very painful. Right? Like Lakshman in the Ramayana states that his Atma left from his top of his head. When your child was born, have you realized that the top of the head was very soft? Yes or no? Mothers? Not fathers, so much. They say yes. More mothers will know. That is very soft because, according to Prashna Upanishad, the Atma, the soul, entered from the top of the skull. And the skull remains open for 3 months. And you put coconut oil, and then it closes back after 3 months. But 1 month and a half before pregnancy, on the 8.5 month or 8th month, the soul looks for a special family that fits its karma from the last life and enters the womb of the mother. And now, according to science, 2 months or a month and a half, probably more, the soul enters the body of that child. Some say 4 months, some say 3 months, but you must know when the child starts to kick. And when that child starts to kick, he can play football in your stomach, isn't it? But only mothers can understand that, brothers and sisters. So, the soul enters through the skull, and where it leaves, for masters and to devatas, they leave from here. But for you and I, who are family people, who are involved in the world, can leave from their eyes. Have you ever seen someone's eyes open when they die? Pundit, we don't like to see anybody's eyes when they die. We don't know. The eyes can be open. Sometimes the nose can bleed. The soul comes out from there. The mouth froths. So therefore, my dear friends, this is what happens when you die. When you die, then your Atma becomes a very high energy, and you listen to everybody what they are saying, what they are thinking, because the energy is very, very high. Do not ill speak someone when they die, because they're listening to your conversation. And they have 13 days on earth. That's the reason why I'm saying this more for the devotees in the West, not here. But I want to say something that is quite bothering me as a Panditji. That is, many of us, we love convenience because we are busy people. And nothing is wrong in that. But isn't it we deserve to do the rights in the right way for our mother and father? Yes or no? Yes. Why is then some of us, we ask the Pundit to do the whole ceremony on the day of the funeral? Do you know that is happening in the West? Where they are requesting the Pundits to do the Daskat and the 13 days in one day. Why did they call it 13 days? They didn't call it funeral day only. Because the Atma has 13 days to be on earth. And that's the reason why you have 13 days reading. Not for the Atma, but for the living people who were hurt. And that's the reason why you need to chant the name of the Lord. And on the 13 days when your Bandhara is done, then the Atma, my dear friends, leave this world and goes into that beautiful light, Atma Jyoti. And then it says goodbye to everyone, friends, there. You have 13 days on earth to see and witness everything. They cannot touch you. They cannot speak to you. But they are knowing, they will understand everything that is happening. And today, if you call upon your mother and father in silence and solitude, with gratitude, with a high altitude of divinity, that mother is going to listen to you, your father is going to listen to you. My dear friends, there's a gentleman in the West who dreamt his mother, and she says, she gave him a sign, please be careful. Do you know the next day that person got into a critical accident, and that car went in under a bus. The car became flat, but that man was alive. And when he came out from that vehicle, they asked him, sir, how come you were alive when that vehicle could not be recognized? And you know what he told them? He said, when that impact took place, I felt the embrace of my mother who protected me. Do you see, our parents can die, but their love can still protect us. They're never away from us. Especially all of us who love our mother and father, they will never leave us alone. And those of us who remember our parents as pitras, and revere them, and remember them, and put their picture. Nothing is wrong to put their picture near the altar. Nothing is wrong. We are told they are our first God. Why not put it in the altar? If you cannot see God in your parents, then how could you see God in these images? They are your first parents. Put their picture. Revere them. And when they start to bless you, my gosh, you're going to start seeing so many great things. Parents, children, revere the pitras. Who are the pitras? Your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. When Pitra Panch comes, find a day or 3 days, if possible, all 15 days to honor your father and your mother and your grandparents. Bolo Vishnu Bhagavan ki, my dear friends. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajan Vedanam Shri So while my dear friends, they're traveling, they have 1 year in their 1 year for our time, but it's really 1 day of their time. So when you do a year work, it's 1 year of our time, but it's 1 day of the soul's journey. So friends, how much time the soul takes to reach where it needs to go? 5 days. Hare Bhaiya, Hare Baap, no. 1 day, ek din. It takes 1 day of their time, but ek saal, 1 year for our time. Why? Because their frequency is faster, earth is slower, and their frequency is faster, according to the Garud Puran. It takes 1 day for them journey, but 1 year for our journey. Now listen to this, and this is a very important point. While they are taking the journey, they are not pitras. There is a prait. Prait means that energy that has not ripened to become that status. So when a soul is journeying, you don't say pitra, because they're not a pitra as yet until 1 year, ek saal. So when you're praying for a person, you don't say pitra while that year is going on. If mother and father dies in the first year, pitrapat, they would not receive the offering because they're still traveling. But for those who die more than a year, you can offer your tarpan for them. That's the fact of the Hindu tradition. My dear brothers and sisters, death, I tell you, is a very strange phenomenon. But let us come back to earth, everyone. Let us come and be practical now. I love to be practical, right? We are so busy, isn't it, everyone? We are busy in school, we are busy in jobs, we are busy in our Facebook, we are busy cooking, we are busy washing, we are busy what? TikTok. You know, when TikTok first came out, I thought it was a clock. Not knowing I will join it as well. So I'm there as well. You find me, I'm there. I'm everywhere. We are very, very busy people here. And you know what's the strange thing? As life goes along, we get more and more busy and busy. And we are busy preparing, cleaning, working, calling everyone, going places, visiting family, going to Umslag, going to the casino. How is that? Om Namah Shivaya. Not Shivaya, Shivaya. So, and you go there and you see some aunties playing that machine. I tell you, Didn't forget Shiva. There was some kind of years ago, one lady lose her money because she lost and she got a heart attack and she fell dead. I am appealing, please go and play. But don't let the Maya of Sibaya play you. Enjoy it. I too like to go if somebody take me, but nobody offers. I can't go. Nobody takes me, but it's okay. You enjoy the world, but don't allow the world to enjoy you. Enjoy Sibaya. But come on, people, friends, especially aunties and mousies and mouses who work so hard for your money, and twink of an eye, you can lose 1,000, 10,000, 15,000, and that card is not outside your pocket, it's stuck in the machine, and it keeps taking out and taking out. I'm asking you in a nice, kindly, in a nice manner, be aware, friends. Don't allow these places to take away from you. Instead of losing that money, give it to a mandir, give it to the hospital, give it for charity, give it for a worthy cause, friends. So we are busy. But listen to this, everyone. When Yamraj comes, who is Yamraj? Lord of Death. When he comes and he knocks on your door, and anybody knows how Yamraj looks here? Anyone knows how Yamraj looks? Fierce. Probably he has a moustache. Like Ajit ji. But his one is long. And he has a whip. But friends, he does not come for you. He sends his messengers for you. When he knocks the door, can you tell him, hey, kya bolte tu? You will not even tell him that. When he comes, do you say, hey, I have to go to collect my money, salary, I have to go to Sibaya, I have to go to Sun City, Sun Coast. Say, I know. Do you think he will spare you? Yes or no? When he tells you have to go, you have to leave everything. But yet we behave, friends, as if we are not going to leave this world. Do you know many people live in this world as though they would not die? Yes or no? They live as though death is invincible. But friends, in these beautiful verses, it tells us death can come anytime. Death can come any time, friends. Let us prepare. Let us be prepared. Bolo Raja Ramachandra ki. Friends, let us do what we have to do while we are alive. There are 10 things that we are told to do while we are alive. For those of you who may not have children, everyone, please look at me. If you may not have a son, if you may not have children to do your rites, who can do it? Who can do those rites? I will answer that question for you just after this reaction. Please enjoy, brothers and sisters. Raja Ramachandra ki jai. मेरे झोपड़ी के भाग आज भूल जाएंगे, काम आएंगे। मेरे झोपड़ी के भाग भूल जाएंगे, काम आएंगे। मेरे झोपड़ी के भाग भूल जाएंगे। Of India, please give a round of applause. What many people could not have done 500 years ago. He brought back Ayodhya for us. Recently it was reopened, friends. In Ayodhya, people dance. Tonight
Do we have any dancers this evening? If you wish to stand and dance, you can dance here with this song.
Don't wait for somewhere else to dance. That's what the Lord is singing out. Let us sing together, brothers. Struggle, but Ayodhya means the opposite. It means a place without struggle, no? Ram jhulenge tu palle na jhulenge. Ram jhulenge tu palle na jhulenge. Meethe meethe tu, meethe meethe bhajan sunayenge. Mere zindagi ke sare dukh I believe personally, friends, while we are alive, we must owe no one. Before you leave this world, always repay your debt. And if you do not repay your debt, then you will have to come back right here and have those people as your neighbors. Sorry, not neighbors. I'll change those words. You will be very close to those people who will have to take back from you. You know, sometimes we say we borrow something and we didn't give it back. Always give back what you borrow, because you do not want to take that karma with you. Have you ever seen in the West, here probably, in your weddings and in your funerals, you take rice and flowers, I don't know if it's practiced here, and coins, and you offer it in the hearse before it leaves? Yes or no? It doesn't? Right. Have you ever asked why? Kabir does give the answer. Why do you offer rice and flowers and coins on top of the hearse? Anyone knows the answer? It makes sense, I just started it. Right? Fear of your debts. You use those coins just in case you borrow
10 potatoes and you didn't give back more from your neighbors, you repay your debt. In weddings, parents also do it. Lord, if I did not pay my debts properly for this girl to leave, please clear her path karmic wise, so she will be free from all obligations, so she can start a new wedded life, free from karmic bondage. That's the reason why we offer. And these days, the verse tell you don't throw it because it scratches the paint of the wedding. Just put it aside, just over the flowers. But it used to happen, and that's the reason why, Lord, cancel my debts. Please. How many of us here tonight have come with a bag of karmic consequences because we didn't repay? Have you ever seen someone give you a hard time in your business? They want to sue you and they got through. Yes, sir? In your business, as business people in your job, have anyone really give you a hard time and make you pay things that you were not supposed to pay? And when you think about it, it just happens with a particular person. It is because, in a higher level, you owe that person. And if for some reason people treat you extremely well, and they give you so much things, it is by right you give back something to that person. It is a right for your villagers to come to the mandir. That's your right. Because the Lord will ask you when you die, hey, you were 3 houses away from the mandir. Did you ever go? Had God, I saw young and senseless. Young and restless. That show was going so nice, Prabhu. When they had satsang, I went on a rock in the hammock. I had other places to go. But one thing I really, really admire here in Durban, I see so many of you come out. And that is really a wonderful message to the world, that when you're in a village, you, my dear friends, participate in the various activities in the mandir. Please give yourself a round of applause for that gesture. Always support, my dear friends. Your mandirs, your gurus, support the living entity that makes you very great in your own village. Brothers and sisters, give charity, give, give, give. Whenever you give, my friends, you will be surprised. Bhagavan Krishna says, if you surrender to me, love me, you're going to come to me. But give something of your own. I'm a Babaji, what I can give? Knowledge. I cannot give you money. Even my name is Muni. There's no relation. But you see those people in the life, they have a lot of great people looking at that life. And guess what? They have some real terrible people who would look to just find faults. And you will find them time and time and again who will just want to say something terrible. And you will have haters who cannot have what you have. They will dislike you because, while I was coming here, I took out a picture in the airport in Miami. We had so many, just 2 or 3 people said, Pundit coming for the poor people money in South Africa. A person in the West said that. I'm not asking you for your money. I'm never asking you. I'm here to give you my knowledge. If you're free to give, that's your choice. But if you don't want to give, you don't have to give. I'm not here for your money. I'm here for your love. And I'm here to give you the knowledge, which is the greatest entity, my dear friends. The greatest wealth in the world. Really, I learned something from these people who give. They teach me something. And I'm saying, if you want to criticize me, you do so. But I can tell you, the higher you climb a tree, the target is clear. As a leader, when you climb high, the target always becomes clear for those people. And when you are doing something good, you'll have a lot of people who will dislike what you're doing. Carrying on the mandir, you'll have haters. You're trying to be somebody good, you'll have haters. You're trying to dress nice. In the West, they say, she played Devi. But your other L to the end is really devil. You have people who will criticize you when you are wealthy. Did they know how you got there? Did they know that you had to go to India and study and beg for food in the streets to eat food? Right? Do they really believe that you have to work day and night to have what you have today? Brothers and sisters, please do not hate others when they are prospering. What you should do, be happy for them. Tell your secret, don't tell anybody. When you are happy for them, you are going to climb and bypass those people who are successful. Just be loving, happy for those who are succeeding and prosperous in their life. Brothers and sisters, Krishna Bhagavan says, give yourself to me and I'm going to give you everything. How? Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
We have a wonderful Tamil there. Allah Subhanahu to give him in this beautiful town and he will play this past song as he renders this beautiful signature practice. Narayana
beautiful altar, friends. That is so magnificent, beautiful, glowing with such brilliance this evening. Such that the love of the members who take care of this country. Please sing. Brothers and sisters, before I come to the end of this evening's program, I just want to let you know that Sadhguru said something very nice that I love this particular statement. He says, every breath you take, we all know we are getting closer to death, which is the grave, he says. But he changes up and he says the same thing in a different way. He says, but every breath you take, you can also get closer to liberation, moksha. You know what's the meaning of moksha? Have you ever dissected the word in Sanskrit? Moha kshaya. Moha means illusion, and kshaya means the destruction. When you have the destruction of kshaya, illusion, then liberation comes. Moha kshaya. Iti equals moksha. Moksha, children, means oneness with the Lord. How many of you want mukti, moksha? Raise hands. Jai Shri Ram. What about the rest of you? You're not sure really, but I thought it was something we're getting to eat afterwards. That's right. But we'll raise our hands. Our goal should be moksha, liberation. If I ask you your goal, you will say, Panditji, my goal is to get married. My goal is to get gold. My goal is to get a nice car, a big business. My goal is to have a few children, probably a dozen. But if I ask you that as you get older, you become wiser, ripen, then you will say that my goal really is to get into the Lord. Oneness. When the drop of water gets into the ocean, where do you look for that drop of water? It merges in oneness. And oneness is our goal in life. We may run as a child behind a toy. We may run as a youth behind well, these days things change, you know. But as you get married, you have to be busy behind business and children. Each phase you run behind something. But as you get older, what do you run behind? You can't even run. But your real goal, really, at that time, is to get in oneness with the Lord. So you know what, children? You exhaust your toys. As you're youth, you exhaust the sensuous pleasure. As you get older, exhaust the wealth for the children. But as you get older, you'll come to know that all these things were entertainment. It was not enlightenment, it was entertainment. And as you get older, you realize enlightenment is what I need to get back in oneness with the Lord. Brothers and sisters, I know we are speaking on the Atma journey. Please come tomorrow evening in my next venue. I'm going to continue. But I just want to share a few things about when you die. You know, when a person dies, when you will die, there's a subtle energy that's called Sukshma Sharir that comes out of the body. There's nothing physical about it. And that Atma sits on the kush grass for 13 days. That's the reason why we planted kush grass. And we put a nut on top. And on top of that nut, the soul is seated there for 13 days. And it visits all the homes. But we would not see them physically, but they are there in the kush grass. Bhagavan Vishnu in the Garuda Puran tells us his hair became the kush grass, everybody. His keshav, keshav means the hair. What a nice name for a boy child, for those of you not married. The hair, keshav, became the kush grass. And the black till was his pasina, his sweat. And when Garudji asked Lord Vishnu, can you give me something of you that can represent you in a death ceremony? And Vishnu Bhagavan said, I will give you my hair as the kush grass, and I will give you my sweat as the black till. And black till you use for two occasions. For death, always remember under that box to put the black till and the kush grass. It is to prevent negative energy. The black till is, what you call it here? Tilanja. What is black? And even have white ones too. White one you use for Shiva, black one you use for Pitrans. The till you use when you are blessing a home. And you're going into that home, you sprinkle the till. It is for Vasudeva to cleanse your home and bless your home. Just in case you bought a home and many years ago a dead body was under that ground. You know how many places we have bought and there are dead bodies under the ground? And when you sleep, you will see all kind of Rajas coming. Bhutraj, Satraj, Tejraj, Patakraj, all of these Rajas will come. But of course, in here the tradition in South Africa, you always burst the coconut, you always squeeze the lime, you always burn that clove, you always say your Gayatri mantra, you always chant your Hanuman Chalisa. Before you go to sleep, put some ashid or the ash vibhuti. If you cannot sleep, do that. If you cannot sleep, my dear friends, tomorrow night I'm going to give you the remedy for those of you who have insomnia. Panditji, why you talk about insomnia? We naturally sleep, like when we're sitting here, you sleep. So, therefore, some of us, we don't need any kind of tablets to sleep, you know. But friends, when you're buying a place, make sure you buy it not in Rakshas, not in these planets. Make sure you check your planets. For those of you who may not always have a pundit, I'm going to share something with you that you study and you become your own knower of what planets take place. If you have a business, if you're doing a business, if you're traveling, this link is called Drik Pancham. D-R-I-K. Pancham. Please remember it. Close your eyes and remember it, because you will not hear it again. Drik, D-R-I-K, Drik Pancham. P-A-N-C-H-A-N-G. This is where all pundits get their source from. It tells you if that day is auspicious. It tells you if it's good for marriage day. Pundit tell you yes, it's good, but really, he is free that day. Not Pundit Sadesh, you know. Let us not use convenience to bypass what is right for our own personal undertakings. Drik, D-R-I-K, Drik Pancham gives you, if your child is going to get married, your child is going to school. Do you know, I didn't believe in that as a pundit. But once I traveled in a planet called Rakshas, right? It's a Titi. And it had 4 others in that. And I said, nah, I don't believe that. And you know what happened out there? That plane, it sat there, we were supposed to leave, and that plane sat there for 4 hours. Not only that, when it was coming back, the wing, something went wrong, we had to turn back. Thank God it was then and not now, otherwise we couldn't make it. Friends, always check Drik Pancham. It is something that you need to know. Sometimes your Panditji is going to be busy. Sometimes they will tell you they check, but they not check. They don't have time because they're serving the community. We have to uplift and bypass that and know for ourselves. The link is D-R-I-K, Drik Pancham. It gives you all the information. But you have to put S-A on top, South Africa. Because you can put NW, New York, and you check in for New York time 7 hours, which is different from here. While we sleep, you wake, and while you wake, we sleep. When you celebrate Shivratri here, it should not be the same time we're celebrating there, because the difference of time.
right? You have to check from sunrise. Your sunrise is different from our sunrise. You have to check that. So therefore, brothers and sisters, these are just some remedies, some information for your devotion and elevation, for your moksha liberation and the propagation of Sanatan Dharma. Don't forget, what's the link, everyone? And how you spell it? D-R-I-K, that's all. Trick Pancham. Check it out, friends. It really, you can learn. But when, listen up, when you start to learn, don't put your name Pundit you. Because when you start seeing this information, your name can automatically be Pundit. And then you start to check for everybody, I know. But do you know it takes you 12 years before you become a Pundit? It takes 12 years. Because it takes you 12 years to master the language of Sanskrit. Today you have somebody who would sing a little song, Jai Krishna Hare, Sri Krishna Hare, and then you start to cry, they cry, everybody cry, and he says, I can make you cry, I'm a Pundit. It doesn't work so, friends. I believe if you become a flower, the bees will come for themselves. To become a flower, you have to plant by time, effort, to be what you want to be. Things that do not happen overnight. With this, friends, I can give you more information on death and its soul's journey. But tonight, let us feel the energy. Because Atmas and souls are pure energy. Tonight, your parents are here. I want you to close your eyes, everyone. Open your palms like this. And pray to the Pitras, your grandparents, your parents, and everyone. As I chant a prayer with mantra, friends. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate And now, your parents are speaking to you, and what they're saying, they're telling you, when I came into the end of my road, my journey, and the sun has set far from me, my rights must not be in a gloom filled in a room. Why cry for your soul? For I am free, and I want you to be free as well. This is what Ma and Dad is telling you. Miss me a little, but not too long. And not with your head bowed low, but to remember me with love that we once shared. Miss me, but let me go. Don't weep for your parents, because when you weep, they hang on and they don't get moksha. They don't continue their journey. Friends, it's okay to cry, but not much. For this is a journey we must all take. Ma and Dad is telling you. And each must go alone. It's part of the Master's plan. A step on the road to home. When you are lonely and you are sick of heart, go to friends who know that we knew. And bury your sorrows in doing seva to those who are in need. Miss me, but miss me and let me go. Miss me and let me. If you miss me, then get busy in loving the ones who are alive, than crying for me who is not there. Not only we cry for those who have gone, but love and laugh for the ones who are around. Brothers and sisters, we laugh and we want to speak with people who we don't know. And the people around us, we don't even say hello. We don't say hi. We don't say Sitaram. We don't say Jai Shri Ram. But the people who we don't know in Facebook, we want to connect with them.
Love people who are around you, and then you can love the Lord. Love yourself tonight, friends. Feel that energy in your hands, and feel that light, friends, going through your heart. And if you are ailing this evening, may this energy of the Pitras heal you. If you are facing poverty, may you come out from that dejection of poverty. If you are sad and lonely and depressed, the Pitras are willing to uplift you once you're willing to live that life of a frequency that is sattvic. Friends, speak the truth, do good things, help others, come to your satsang, give food to the poor, support the satsangs. Friends, give to those who are in need, plant a tree instead of cutting them down. And most of all, talk to your children about the moment. Don't bring up the past from the appetites the time and bring hatred in the hearts of our young children. Don't allow your young child to pay a price of history that has gone. Friends, leave history aside. Now is a mystery. And what is that mystery? For our victory. Don't bring the past and cruelty of what have been done to you and your parents, especially our elders, grandparents and mothers and fathers. Those people who did what they have done, they are no longer. Don't blame the innocent young children who has nothing to do with the past. Please, in history, our teachers who are teaching history, do not teach history in a way to bring bitterness in the hearts of our children so that they can take up envy and bring it in today's society. Leave the past in the past. Leave the past in the past. Live in the now. Live in the now, friends. May this loving energy embrace you. May you feel happy. And may your Atma that resides by your heart bless you with success, love, and joy now and always. Feel the energy, friends. And now, open your eyes and look at the altar, everyone. Maji, Pawan Sut Hanumanji, Bhagavan Shankar. And now place your hearts by your heart, everyone. Om Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu, Mangalam Garudakraja, Mangalam Pundarikakshaya, Mangalaye Tano Hari. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Hari Om. Bolo Sat Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. I'd like to dedicate this song. This is my last selection before I call our speakers. To you, Rahul ji, thank you so much. And to Salisa ji, please give them a round of applause. Thank you. To Pundit Satish ji Maharaj and the Pundit Munelal committee, thank you so much. And I think I heard from the grapevine that I'll be back in November. So please. Kishore Kumar ji, I love his selections. And what he says to us is priceless. What he says? Ye Sham Sitani Malhoos ki jaan mujhe to koi piche teri aur le ja. Ye Sham Sitani Malhoos ki jaan mujhe to koi piche teri aur le ja.
You want to hear one more, right? Tomorrow, please come down. We look forward to see you tomorrow. Tonight we have one of our sponsors, and we'd like to say many, many thanks to Selina ji, who is here. I remember your name. Priya ji, his name is Ravi ji. He is the son. Thank you so much for being here, and may your trip in your near journey be successful. And to all of the sponsors, thank you so much. Always remember, if you want to be part of the committee, please, you don't have to give me anything, but support the committee. The best way to show your appreciation, my dear friends, is three things tonight, everyone. Love yourself, love your family, love your community. And if you do those three things, I'm sure you're going to come back in November. Do you agree or not?